Hello and welcome to another Franchise Hockey Manager stream. My name is Adam. I'm the community manager of Franchise Hockey. With me is special guest Chris, aka Snaggle J. Say hi, Chris.
Hey, how you doing? I'm very happy to be here. Glad to be able to jump on, talk some hockey, especially at the high point of hockey season, IRL. So, thanks for having me.
Oh, no, thanks for coming on. As you may note by Chris being here, obviously Jeff is not. So that's okay. We're back with our 2016-2017 Detroit Red Wings franchise. If you've tuned in before, we took last week off, but we were here the week before. Our season continues to be a quite big disappointment. You can see right here we're 17-25-3 for 37 points well into January now. Things have not been going very good. We are in 14th place in the Eastern Conference, so playoffs are not looking very likely. We also made a number of moves. If this is your first time tuning in, just click up the transactions. You can see we made some trades. We sent Steve Ott back to Buffalo for a 4th round pick. We sent Luke Glendening to Arizona for a 4th round pick. We traded for Justin Schultz. We also got rid of Drew Miller and Callahan, all for 4th round picks, because we're gathering every 4th round pick. That's the plan. Just draft the entire 4th round. No. From different years.
For a rebuilding squad, draft picks are not going to hurt you. So
yeah. Well, how did Detroit get to most of their Stanley Cup finals? It was by that draft and develop sense.
And it was. Oh, I was just gonna say, and for them, it wasn't a lot of top draft picks either. It was a lot of, mid to late round guys. So yeah, it's definitely worthwhile stocking up on those mid to late round picks.
Absolutely. So taking a quick look at our roster. Mike Green's currently hurt with an eye irritation, so he's day to day, but he can't play. We also more recently picked up, who was it? Former Brandon Wheat King. Did we send him down? We might have sent him down. There he is. Michael Furland with Calgary. But we picked him up off waivers. We signed old man Patrick Elias, who actually recently retired, to come fill a void at the start of the year, although he's been scratched as of late because he only had 11 points in 36 games, but he was doing what he could. I advanced just a couple days ahead to get us to the next game, and in that time, we saw a trade proposal from Colorado. Taking a quick look at what it is and getting some feedback. Colorado wants to send us 36-year-old defenseman Francois Beauchemin for Thomas Vanek. Now, Beauchemin is 36. He's 2.5-star talent, 2.5-star potential, because he's obviously at what he's going to be. And Vanek is still 3 stars. I'm not really thinking this is a great trade for us at this moment. What do you think?
Well, what Beauchemin, I'm assuming, is probably a free agent at the end of the season as well.
I believe he is, yes.
Yeah, so really it doesn't do your team any good. Vanek's also a UFA at the end of the year, so if you were trading him for an asset that you would be able to keep beyond this season, sure, but trading middle-aged average player for slightly more middle-aged, slightly less average player probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense at this point.
Yeah, we're looking to move Vanek, but I think we're going to wait till we get a little bit closer to the trade deadline and see if we can get something else.
Yeah, and again, given the state of your team and where you are in the standings, trading for an aging left-handed shot defenseman probably not going to be your A, B, or C option to move Vanek anyway.
Yeah, so I'm going to quickly sim through this Boston game, and holy cow, we won a game. 3-2.
I'm good luck. Good luck, charm.
Apparently. We got Justin Schultz scoring, Henrik Zetterberg, and Thomas Tatar. 2 power play goals, too. Wow. Impressive. And Jimmy Howard gets 400 games. All right.
Nice.
That's not bad, huh? A win.
Yeah, that's a good way to start. A little offense shows up a little bit. Considering how much you've been struggling in that department, nice to see a 3-goal game.
Yeah. Okay, Winnipeg and the Rangers made a trade. Matthew Perreault goes to the Rangers for Brady Skidgy? I'm not sure how to say that name. But
Yeah.
kind of a fairly even swap. I mean, the defenseman's obviously a little bit younger, but not too bad otherwise.
Yeah, I believe Winnipeg is down there in the standings as well.
Yes.
So that's probably them trying to acquire a youthful player. So
Taking a
kind of makes sense from Winnipeg's perspective.
quick look, Winnipeg is currently in last place in the Central at an even worse record than us
Yeah.
at 17, 25, and 6.
Yeah.
Oh, but
So,
they have more
even
points
though,
than
like-
us. So they're actually technically
Okay.
better. That hurts.
Well, we'll lose it on a technicality, but sure.
Yeah. All right, let's just sim through. Oh, when we just got killed 4-1 to Buffalo. And we got back to 1 goal by Thomas Tatar on the power play, assisted by Vanek.
Back to
And so
our
we
old
also
ways
kind of miss
already.
Mike Green because he is some of our defensive big hitter. Let's see. Oh, Julian Milkery is on waivers from the Jets. Currently playing with him in real life. Nolan Patrick, as the surprise of no one, is currently the top-rated guy in the upcoming draft.
Yeah, that's not surprising whatsoever.
No. So who do you think is most likely? If you were drafting an NHL team, would you take Patrick or, and I believe the other guy's out by you, right? The Swiss guy, Hirsch. Is that right? Is that his name?
Oh yeah. Geez, his first name eludes me at the moment. All of a sudden.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what it was. Oh, Nico plays for Halifax.
Yeah, Nico Hirsch. Who's
Yeah,
had a really good campaign and really kind of come on.
Yeah. Yeah, he was. I mean, he was not necessarily a relatively unknown, but coming into the season, he was definitely not heralded as a top guy. I still think if I had to choose between Patrick or Hirsch, I also think that Gabe Viardi's in the conversation
Yeah.
for some teams.
Yeah.
Mainly because of the fact that he's a little bit younger than the other two, and he's still 6'2", 185. But I think Nolan Patrick's probably the pick, just from the standpoint that he's 6'3", plays a great center position. He's good on both sides. I think, if it's me, I go with the guy that's been pretty much number one all along.
Okay, I'm just going to break in here for 1 second. We sim through another game, and we won 4-2 versus the Rangers. Mostly thanks to a third period outburst of 3 goals scored.
Nice.
All right.
But yeah, I definitely would think Patrick is probably going to go number one. He's definitely who I would take number one.
Yeah. Some people are saying the injury gets him, his injury history lately is getting a little bit scared. And I kind of get that, but at the same time, I'm like, to me, he is probably the most, skilled guy. He's the guy who maybe you pass up on first, but you might regret it later if you don't, because the skill is there. That being said, I'm not sure he's going to be in the NHL this next year.
Well, and that's the thing, and this is the kind of draft. I mean, a lot of people in the industry have said this is kind of a down draft compared to the last few years. This is the kind of draft where you could see a lot of trades in the upper part of the first round. People kind of jockeying for position, thinking, I'm at 3, I might be able to get a quality guy at 6, so I could trade down. This has the makings of a draft where you're going to see a lot of movement within that first round, I think.
Yeah, especially when you factor in with Vegas here now and lots of different stuff going on.
Yeah, and they're going to want to make an impact. Vegas is going to want to make an impact. I mean, they're trying to create a buzz around a new team. They're definitely going to want to, have some sort of big splash, whether it be a big non-draft trade or whether it be trading up in the first round. I mean, they do have, I believe, the 3rd pick, so they're definitely going to get a quality player right off the bat. But there's really nothing stopping them from, hey, let's move up to number one, get Nolan Patrick, make him the face of Vegas.
Yeah. Well, we
Who
just
knows?
lost 2-1 to the Maple Leafs here on January 25th, unfortunately.
Man,
That one hurts.
those Leafs, pesky Leafs.
Yes. But we'll keep going here. They're not having near as good a year in this game as they are in real life.
Well, that's some solace, I guess. I mean, they're gonna. Leafs Nation is in real life is all a flutter at the moment. So.
Yes. All right, so the rosters for the NHL All-Star Game have been announced. Steven Stamkos and Blake Wheeler were named captains. Interesting.
Oh, did we have anybody make the team?
I'm going to guess no. Who's really played well enough?
Do they have the requirement where there has to be one player from every team?
I do not believe so. Oh, Patrick Laine made the team, just because we're throwing out rookie names
Ooh.
here. He's had 55 points in 52 games, so not bad.
Nice. He's on fire.
Yeah. Doesn't really look like anybody else. No, there's nobody from Detroit.
Womp womp.
Which is not surprising.
Okay.
Again, yeah, we'll just take
No, not surprising at all.
Take a quick look at our roster here, and stats summary. Our top guy has 30 points in 50 games.
That's pretty gross.
That's not very good. Our top goal scorer has 13 goals.
Yeah. I was looking through that. We were talking about that just before the stream started. I was looking through after you sent me the save file, and I literally couldn't believe the offensive ineptness of this team.
Yes. In fairness, we are using our tactics, and we're using the Brooks system, which is a kind of more heavily pass-oriented system. And it was a new attempt at doing something different because we were using the funnel and just not getting enough. The Brooks system we're still learning, but it seems to be working a little bit more. And our defensive approach is just quiet intimidation, where we just want to hit everything.
Well, I think it's going to come. Yeah, you have some young, talented offensive players who are going to come around. Guys like Larkin and Mantha and Sheehan and Yurko. So I mean, I think once they learn the system, I think they'll come around.
Yeah, we have stuff to build on. It's just going to be a lot of building for us to get there.
Agreed.
But as we're nearing the end of the season, actually, in fact, I think the season ends this weekend, right? Am I crazy on that? I feel like the season ends
Sunday, I believe. Is Saturday or Sunday are the last games?
Yeah, so we won't be here. So I got to ask you, who's your favorite going into the Stanley Cup playoffs?
As a fan of the team, I have to say, I'm all in on the Caps. I think, and I say this every year, but I think this is the year that the Capitals might be able to exercise some of these playoff demons that they have had. Tough matchups against teams like the Rangers and Pittsburgh, who just always seem to get the better of them. I think Pittsburgh has an extremely talented, strong team. And obviously, as the defending champions, it's hard to bet against them. And if I was picking a Western team, Minnesota. I think Minnesota is kind of flying under the radar. I know they have 102 points, but I think Minnesota has a very complete hockey club.
Okay. We'll come back to that in 1 second. I just have to point this out. We just won 5-4, first game after the All-Star break, against New Jersey. Number 1 star, Thomas Tatar, with all 5 goals for the Wings.
What?
He scored 5
just like
goals. First goal to put us up 1-0, then puts us up 3-1 with 2 more for his hat trick. Gets the goal late in the third period to tie it up, and then scores the game winner in overtime.
So if my calculations are correct, is that 7 goals since we've started the stream?
I think so. Yeah, Thomas Tatar has 13.
So he only had 6 goals on the season coming into tonight.
Yeah, he certainly just turned the Jets on. He likes the Brooks system apparently. Because holy cow,
he's getting into it.
Again,
He's having the time out there.
if you're watching, you got some questions in the chat, by all means, feel free to throw them up and we will answer them. I know we're kind of spinning here, but there's not a huge amount for us to discuss as our team is not playing incredibly well. They're doing okay.
No.
But going back to your point about Minnesota, being a Winnipeg Jets fan, which is fairly well known in our stream, I'm not sure Minnesota's got it. They got some good parts, but again, that team just seems to be flattening out right now. And I don't mean this in a bad way, but they got Bruce Boudreau as a coach, and I like the dude, but every time during the playoffs, it seems he just makes some very poor decisions.
Yeah. As a Caps fan, I definitely concur with the Boudreau comment. I just feel like every time I watch Minnesota play, I come away impressed with how they play the game and how they play as a team. And I just, every time I watch them play, I just feel like they're good, and they play a very good team game. I think this is kind of the first time. I think we've seen the full shift now from 3 to 6 years ago, where the Western Conference had all the better teams, and the Western Conference was kind of the perennial conference that was expected to win.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of flipped now. I think looking at, with Washington and Pittsburgh, and now Columbus is an unbelievable hockey team. And you have Montreal, who's very good. I think the East is definitely nudging forward in terms of with the better conference right now.
Absolutely. Totally agree. But, okay, just on the Minnesota note, too. Did you see them wearing those sweet Minnesota North Star jerseys the other day?
I absolutely sure did. And they should just wear those just all the time.
Absolutely. But Parise wearing his old man's gloves and helmet.
Yeah, I saw that. I think I might have seen that you tweeted out that picture, actually.
I don't know if I did. I could have, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
Taking a look
I saw
here.
somebody tweet it out. And,
yeah.
I was quite impressed.
Mike Ilitch, who is still our owner, is very disappointed with the season and thinks you really need to improve the team. The last few weeks, the team has played promisingly, but we've dropped to 7-6-0 despite the bad performance. And general manager is quite happy with our work. Taking a look at our owner confidence, he's still high. So he's not happy, but at the same time, I think he recognizes we are in a rebuilding phase. So that's good news for us for hopefully not getting fired.
Yeah, not getting fired would be I would consider that a win at this point.
Okay, we got a bunch of guys on waivers. Nashville waived 4 guys for some reason. Must have did a trade apparently. So, Timu Pukulin, not really anything. Lyndon Vay, Garrett Wilson, Tom Pyatt. Nobody's going to really help us. Oh,
no.
Winnipeg's Trouba is injured. He's gone for 5 months with a torn hip labrum. Ouch.
He's just getting an early start on the summer, I guess.
Patrick Maroon had a grade 3 concussion and is out for a long time, at least 5 months. Roman Josi gets traded to Calgary because they need another defenseman. For Lyndon Vay and Matthew Tkachuk. That is a shocker.
Although that's a huge trade.
Yeah, Matthew Tkachuk in this game only has 15 points in 47 games and has 134 penalty minutes. So he's playing a lot like his old man.
Well, and that's kind of an interesting trade. Unless they've had a big turnaround since you started the stream, Calgary is not a playoff team when we started.
Yeah,
and Nashville's kind of on the bubble of being a playoff team. So that's an interesting trade to trade one of your better young prospects when you're not currently a playoff team.
58 points for Nashville and 43 for Calgary. You can see on the bottom here.
Yeah,
this is it's not a bad trade, but I mean, how many defensemen does Calgary need? They should still have quite a few on the roster, I would imagine. Let's take a quick look at the roster here. Calgary roster. And they still got Anglin, Yoki Paka, Rossi. I guess he is their best defenseman. Brody's there. Are they did they make some trades, or they got some guys who are hurt? Oh, Dougie Hamilton's hurt. But he should be back anytime. That gives them 3 pretty solid defensemen then.
Yeah, and Yossi's still young. He's only 26. And he's
Yeah,
locked up through 2020, so
yeah, it's
it
not a bad trade.
seems
It's
like a
just
good trade.
a
No.
surprising trade.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, okay? They got Backlund, Gaudreau, Monahan, Bennett, Michael Frolik. They got a lot of forwards still. So I mean, they're obviously not too worried about it. If we were
No,
smart, maybe
I
we should
wouldn't say.
try and trade Vanek there. Should we make an offer
Could
there?
be a possibility.
Let's just maybe just see what they. Calgary is looking for a left defenseman. No, they're not. Let's just throw Tomek Vanek there. What could we get for Thomas Vanek? Let's see. Let's maybe look at their rights to somebody. They got everybody's too good for their. We wouldn't get unless we throw a pick in, and if we try to pick up like who's this? Fox, Adam Fox, currently in the NCAA. What do we have rated his scouting at? We have no information on him. That's not something I really want to see.
Oh,
Then,
that's always helpful.
yeah, we have no information. All right, let's take a look at their actual players then, because if I actually pick on the right ones and not pick the Red Wings guys. Let's look at their top potential guys here. I don't really see anyone who we're going to be able to get who's they're going to like. Unless we could try and get Hunter, but he won't. They won't trade him. I don't think. Hunter Shinkarik. Let's just see. Maybe I'm wrong, but they won't accept this offer. All right, well, let's see if we can sweeten it with maybe one of the fourth-round picks we picked up.
There you go. Start using them picks for the power of good.
What if we throw in a 4th and a 6th pick and ask the Flames for a 7th rounder next year? Well-balanced offer. Let's just see what they say. And we play against New York here, so just take a quick look. Mrazek's in net. Continue. We're going to sim through this game really quick. And we won 8-3. Holy cow. Thomas Tatar
On fire.
Vanek gets 2 goals as we make a trade offer for him. Cronwell. This.
Doesn't want to leave.
Yeah, Vanwell. Franz Nielsen. Dylan Larkin. Apparently, we needed to change to. Apparently, the system's starting to pick up. Tatar Abdelkader. We got 45 points on the season. Taking a quick look, because we haven't already looked at our game ratings. Mike Green did not have a great game. He was 48 game rating. 41 offensive game rating.
Ugh.
That is not great.
No, it's not going to get it done.
Anthony Mantha had a 45 overall game rating, but he had a 40 defensive game rating, which is not too hot, but we can live with that. And our team's playing so well, it's hard to switch anything. Riley Sheehan didn't have a great game.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard to mess with it when it's going good, especially considering how bad it's been going.
Yeah, well, we got a game here versus Nashville here, so we'll make another quick sim through it. And maybe we'll look at playing our next game after that.
Yep.
Or should we play this one on the back-to-back?
You're in charge. Whatever you think is best. I have no preference.
It's a little bit fun to do a little bit of everything. Okay, let's play this game. We're playing this game versus Nashville. Mrazek won. He is at 100% fitness, so we're just going to... we're going to put Howard in. Let Howard get in here. Change my mind.
Yeah, that's one thing I noticed that you guys were doing a real good job with this team is keeping the goalie games balanced between Howard and Mrazek, which is good. Keep them healthy and.
Yep. Well, it's nice with the last update to the game that we made it a little bit easier for people to switch.
Yeah.
We'll turn off game stoppages here. So I know I asked you. I think I wanted to say Pittsburgh was going to have a good chance at a cup again this year, but after losing Chris Letang for 4 to 6 months, I don't think I don't like their chances as much. And Dylan Larkin just scored to put us up 1-0.
Nice.
Because
Yeah,
you see about Letang?
Letang's a key part for them.
Herniated disc. I mean, they picked up every other defenseman they possibly could, but that's going to really hurt them, I think. Honestly, I really like Washington too. I like Barry Trotz, and man, that team looks like they're firing well. Braden Holtby is one of the best goaltenders, and he is underrated for how good he is. And even though people think he's good, he's still underrated.
Yeah, having watched this team through the playoffs the last 6 to 7 seasons, I just feel like I always get that feeling in my stomach that, that this team is not going to show up in the playoffs. We all know the NHL playoffs are played differently. They're more tight checking and close games, and it comes down to making sure that your team plays, perfectly on both sides. But I just feel like this Capitals team is different than the Capitals teams from before. They've added some interesting pieces to the roster that have, given them more of a defensive presence. I just feel like maybe this is the year where they have that complete roster 1 through 20 that can get it done.
Yeah, I really like everything they're doing. I mean, it's hard to sleep on Montreal too, because I mean, Carey Price can alone win you a series, and we're up 3-0, by the way, after 1.
Nice. Yeah, you're right, and that's the other thing too is again, Carey Price can be that guy.
Yeah.
You need to look no further than the last time that they had the Olympics, that team played well below their expectations.
Yeah.
But because of the way Carey Price played, they were able to win a gold medal.
Yep.
And he has that pedigree. He has that mindset that I can go out there and regardless of how the team plays in front of me, I can win. I just worry that Montreal relies on him so much that you get that burnout factor. I mean, I hope they get beat out quite quickly, to be honest. But because the longer they stay in it, the more dangerous they are.
Absolutely. Honestly, I don't really know who else I really like from the East or the West for that matter. I mean, you got to think Chicago's going to be around because Chicago is always around, and they seem to be peaking again kind of at the right time. But honestly, I don't expect Edmonton to go that far. Just they could, but I don't expect them. Calgary, again, they could, but I still don't trust their goaltending. San Jose, I don't know. They look like they're on the beach half the time, and then in the hockey rink the other. They're so up and down. They're just, it's just kind of all over the place.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of faith in Edmonton getting fired. I think it's going to be exciting for Oilers fans to see, not how quickly this team's turned around. This has been a 10-year rebuild, but they've jumped up the standings so far so fast.
Yep. And we're up 5-0 playing third.
We're just dominating.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting for Oilers fans. Like I said, I don't expect them to get much further than maybe the second round. I would not be shocked if they got upset in the first round, to be honest, especially playing against their likely opponent, which is San Jose at this point. Yeah. San Jose will probably, for certain, give them problems.
I would think they probably would too. Yeah, it's just again, this year really looks open for who could possibly win.
Yeah, I think in the West, it's like which team is going to live up to their potential, and in the East, it's which of these top teams is going to survive.
Yeah,
you kind of have different.
I still like the Rangers, but it's just I'm not sure they got it. I'm not sure they have enough offense to win if they get deep.
As I never ever bet against the Rangers. I never bet against Lundqvist. They're just they're one of those teams. They know how to play playoff hockey. Again, I don't have a lot of faith in them, but you know what? They're in there. They have guys that have long playoff histories. Not a lot of them have championships, but they have a lot of guys with a lot of playoff experience. So they're definitely a dangerous team.
6-0 win for us. 35
Domination.
shots. Holy cow. Jimmy Howard is our number one star. 32 saves. We are doing
Domination.
absolutely everything right. We out-hit them, outshot them. Gotta love it. What a great game.
Can't beat that.
No, absolutely not. Scoring was all kind of around. Lots of guys getting on the board. That's 2 decisive wins for us.
Well, like I said, it's almost like you have a good luck charm all of a sudden that this offense just woke up. The system is working and everyone's playing at a high level.
Well, oh, wait a second. What? Montreal, what are you doing? Alex Galchenyuk to Chicago for Marian Hossa.
What?
Oh, man.
No.
That's like, I don't even know what to say.
No.
That's unbelievable.
No, that didn't just happen.
A league analyst called
there has to be a draft pick or something involved.
Nope, straight up. I mean, I guess Bergevin's a little bit worried. He's just pulling out all the stops.
He's only 22.
For Hossa, who's 16 years older. Has 36 points. Okay, yeah. Montreal, he had 44 points, Galchenyuk. Hossa only has 36. They still traded him. I am blown away by that.
Locker room issues, perhaps?
I guess. Wow.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say there. I don't get that at all.
No, that is one. Calgary says.
I don't.
No, I cannot do this trade.
Okay.
Let's discuss the trade.
No other feedback. Just we're not interested.
Oh no, they didn't say they're interested. They're just saying, it's close. Toronto and Vancouver made a trade. Antoine Bilodeau goes to Vancouver for Nikita Tramkin, goaltender for a defenseman.
Interesting.
Very even trade.
Yeah.
Can't say too much else about it.
Nope.
And we got a game against Columbus here. Well, after 2 big wins. Let's see if Mrazek can win us one here. And we won 5-2.
Firing on all cylinders right now.
Yeah, here we go. Vanek got a goal. Schultz. Green got another one. Zetterberg got another one. Oh, wow. Apparently, we finally learned how to play some hockey.
Yeah, I would say. I would say it definitely appears that way at the moment.
We got a game here against Washington. We'll maybe play this game through and have another discussion about something that you brought up earlier. We talked about Carey Price leading to the last gold medal. What's your thoughts on the NHL saying, no, we're not going to the Olympics? Do you think there's still a chance they actually could? That's a first.
I mean,
some of the players seem to think that that's the case.
I mean, anyone who follows the NHL for the last 20 years, you know what happens when Gary Bettman digs his feet in.
Your team moves to Arizona?
Yeah. I feel like there's a 0% chance that that NHL signed players will play in the Olympics. I really do. I understand the different sides of this thing. As a fan, I'm very disappointed to not be able to watch, NHL players play in the Olympics, not just for Canada, but, for the US and for Russia and for all the teams that, are going to miss out on this.
Yeah.
I feel bad for people who watch the Olympics in general.
Yeah, I'm kind of torn on this because I get both the appeals from everybody, but I get why the NHL is, saying no, and there's some decent reasons why they're saying no. They're just
absolutely.
why can't we use promotional materials from our guys who are playing there? And you shut down your season in the middle of the year. Well, that's tough too. It's also interesting that the NHL kind of went, could you move the hockey to the Summer Olympics? And the IOC was like, no.
Yeah. The NHLPA would never have let them have hockey at the Summer Olympics. Never in a million years.
I don't know about that.
I can't see them. I mean, unless they move the Summer Olympics to mid to late September, which they're probably not going to do. I mean,
August though.
Yeah, I don't think the NHL or I don't think the IOC has any interest in doing that, but I don't think the NHLPA would allow that to happen when push came to shove. But I mean, as far as the Winter Olympics thing is, again, I understand all sides. I understand the league saying to the players, we need some concessions from you guys to make this happen. Our owners are missing out on 3 weeks of revenue, which nobody actually misses out because they still play all the games. So it's just a bargaining position for the owners. They're worried about insurance issues and players getting hurt, and I understand all of that. But again, just as a fan of the game, I'm slightly disappointed because it's not often you get to see the world's best against the world's best in a tournament of that format.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
And again,
just throwing in this game going on. If you noticed, we were getting badly beaten here. It was, I think, 4-0, and then we got a goal. And then they quickly scored again to make it 5-1. And then, so I ended up pulling Mrazek, put Howard in, and all of a sudden now it's 5-3. So now it's 6-4.
Comeback. The comeback is on.
We're down by 2. And time's going fast. It's not looking very good. And we lost, but at least we got a little bit better. We're still scoring goals.
Okay, well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, so 4 goals. 6-4 loss. Sorry, continue. Please continue.
Yeah. It's an interesting thing. It's a delicate dance when it comes to something like that, to shut the league down for 3 weeks so that we can go to this. The thing that I saw Tim and Sid talking about earlier today.
Yes, which is Sportsnet radio show that is also on TV.
Yeah. They mentioned the fact that if the NHL doesn't go to the Olympics, like, do the owners actually think that people are going to be sitting home watching hockey, or are they going to be sitting home watching the Olympics? Because the Olympics are still going to go on.
Well, the thing is,
the Olympics are a very huge thing.
Okay, Chicago and Montreal just made another trade. Scott Darling goes to Montreal with the rights to Chris Kalun for Nathan Bilodeau and Chris Lipzik. Montreal's just kind of going crazy here. Well, the thing is, though, too, again, we talk about people like live sporting events. When you got live sporting events that are taking place at 1 in the morning, or 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, do people really care to watch the replays when they already know the results? In this day and this age, when you have access to just about everything, it's not like it was, 20 years ago. And you had to wait to kind of see what happens. It either came across the radio or you'd see the highlights that were replayed. And I think that does have some impact on it too.
Yeah, I feel like the big factor at play here is the fact that the Olympics are in South Korea.
Definitely big thing.
Yeah, you don't think of South Korea as a Winter Olympic venue to begin with. But again, halfway around the world, it was not ideal when the Olympics were in Sochi.
Oh, okay.
Which is...
Pausing for 1 second. Chicago just traded for Drew Stafford and J.C. Lapone, and they sent back to Winnipeg Artemi Panarin and the rights to Matt Tompkins. Chicago is going wild here.
Why?
They are gearing up for a huge run up our eye.
Yeah, I would say
Okay, so
by the looks of it.
in fairness, it is February and they already have 90 points. Mid-February, they already have 90 points. But yeah.
So they're gearing up big time.
Yeah, I'm sorry for cutting you off. Please continue.
Oh no, that's okay. No, that's the whole point. We're here to play franchise hockey manager.
Well, we're here to
but yeah, when the
play hockey and talk hockey too.
True. When the Olympics were in Sochi, it was not a great time zone either.
No,
but they made it work. They made it work.
Yeah,
they made it work schedule-wise so that North America could enjoy the hockey, because that's the primary market. Obviously, when you have the Winter Olympics of the NHLers, the hockey's the big draw, and North America is where the draw is coming from. It's just, you can't make that work in Pyeongchang. You just can't.
No.
You can't have games that start at 3 a.m. in Pyeongchang so that they can be on at prime time in America.
Vancouver just offered us a 1-star defenseman for Thomas Vanek, which I quickly said no to.
Yeah, that's probably a good no.
Yeah, I think so.
I feel like that's probably a good rejection.
All right, yeah. Well, again, that time zone thing definitely does change.
Yeah, like I feel like if the Olympics were going to be in Los Angeles or Boston or Calgary or Finland or anywhere in Western Europe for that matter,
yeah,
I feel like this is not a conversation you and I are having right now.
I would tend to agree with you on that.
Yeah, I feel like they'd be going, and that would just be that.
Yeah. Now, it's interesting when they're talking 2022, they kind of, really want to go, and because into the Chinese market is what they're hoping.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing is that for as stubborn as Gary Bettman can be, the IOC is that much more stubborn.
Absolutely.
So I don't think they're going to be able to just pick up after not going to 2018 games and say we want to go to 2022. I don't know if it's going to be that easy for them to do that.
At the same time, does the
but
IOC,
we'll
if
see.
They say they want to go, can the IOC go, no, we don't want the best players in the world to be there?
Oh, if the NHL says they want to go, the IOC can't say. They don't have a leg to stand on to say no, but they'll make it difficult on them. The IOC can't turn down the type of money that the NHL players would bring to their Olympics. They just can't. They would be foolish to do so.
Yeah. Okay, we just actually squeaked out a 2-1 win versus Washington here.
Nice.
To go, so nice. Very nice.
We're dominating. We're on fire.
Jimmy Howard is on fire. We can see he's got some fire streaks beside him because he is now playing above his star potential.
Well, that's good. Thank you, Jimmy Howard, for turning this franchise around. Costing us draft position.
He's three.
Yeah, he's just costing us draft position at this point.
He's on 3. Well, we might sneak into the playoffs if we keep playing it.
That's what I'm talking about.
Make the Marc-Andre Fleury is playing against Pittsburgh. We're throwing back out, and we won 5-2 versus Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is only 3 games above 500, man. But I think they also lost Sidney Crosby for a point and Malkin. Crosby apparently.
We won't talk about that part though. That part doesn't matter.
Well, we keep cruising along. We're gonna have to check the standings here in a second. See how we're doing compared to everybody else.
I would assume it's good.
Take a quick look at our season stats too. We got another trade proposal, and it is another terrible trade proposal. So we'll just reject it.
Oh man, those are the worst.
They keep trying to lowball us right now. So let's look at our roster here. Stat summary, and we can see Frans Nielsen now has 39 points in 60 games. So that's not bad, leading our team. Our minuses have gone way down, which is very important. Our leading goal scorer is now with 18 goals is Thomas Vanek. So again, we're clicking along here. We're looking better. Taking a look.
Things are looking up.
Taking a look at the standings here. Let's go by conference, and we can see we are moved up into 13th place with 55 points. 8th place is 64. So we're not out of it yet. We got a long way to climb, but we're not out of it yet.
Nice. That's what I like to see.
Yes. And Winnipeg actually has shot up the rankings because we were talking about that. They're now in 10th, having surpassed Arizona, Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton.
They're on the move.
Yes. They're only 2 points back at 8th place. So nothing is impossible.
Nice. No, I would say not. Nothing's impossible in the NHL.
Victor Stahlberg is on waivers. But he's not worth us to pick up. Playing the New York Islanders. Well, you know what?
We're playing too good. We don't want to mess with the chemistry,
Absolutely not. Got to keep making remember to switch the goalies. And we win 3-2.
Yeah.
Versus the Islanders, so that's good. Just getting goals from everybody. Henrik Zetterberg gets his 10th goal of the year, which is great considering how long he was hurt.
Yeah, that is a very good sign. Very good sign indeed.
Maybe there is a chance we might actually be able to keep this record streak alive. It's not as impossible as it was.
You're making it look. We're all of a sudden making it look easy.
Well, hey, again, we changed tactics, and there was been a couple questions recently on social media and on Reddit about people asking, I've got this really great team, but we're not winning games. What's going on? And the number one thing I always say is, you got to check your tactics, see what's going on. And if your tactics don't match the players you got, then you need to make a change. Okay, Evgeny Kuznetsov will go to free agency.
Whoa.
If we can try and trade for him. So probably will not work out well. But...
No, I'm going to say probably not going to work out well either, but it's definitely worth exploring into a little bit.
If I trade third
He's
and
only
fourth,
24.
Let's see, the 4th round pick and the 6th round pick. You know what? Let's do this. Let's remove some picks here, and let's offer someone who we have the rights to. We got a bunch of guys. They have a weakness at left wing. Who do we have at left wing? Nobody they're really going to want. Maybe we will offer them Holmstrom's rights. And then throw a pick back on top of that. 2 picks? Offer our rights to someone else. What else would they like? That guy could be a future star on our team.
Yeah.
I don't want to trade somebody who's really good. Let's try him.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Offer
Kuznetsov is a good piece. He's only 24.
Oh, what? This is an interesting offer, but we need to increase our offer. So let's keep the 4th rounders and offer 3rd rounder? No,
Good work.
3rd rounder's not good enough. How about a 4th rounder next year? Okay, we can do it for the rights to the 2 guys, Vanek and the 3rd and the 4th rounder. I think we got to do this, don't we?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you get rid of Vanek, right? So that's a plus. Again, Kuznetsov, he's 24. I mean, he could be your number 1 center for several years.
I wonder if we can try and sign him. Let's take a look. He wants...
Maybe he'll change his tune.
Oh man, he does not want that much. Meet demand. He wants $3.75 million for 2 years.
Wow, that's barely a raise. I think he makes $3 million in the current season. That's barely a raise over what he's getting now.
Submit offer.
Yeah, do that. Absolutely do that.
Okay, so now we got to get Kuznetsov in here. And ask assistant to create lines, and Kuznetsov becomes our number 2 centerman. I like that.
Yep.
Zetterberg.
Yep.
All right. We got rid of Vanek, but we got a much better player in return.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's definitely that's definitely a good trade. Again, for where you are as a club, you know, maybe on the cusp of being a playoff team this year, but you know, still in a rebuilding phase. Kuznetsov's a fantastic addition.
Okay. PWOG66 in the chat, I see, says lagging. Try refreshing. I know we're not having a great pitcher, and I'm sorry about that, but it should be hopefully okay. And Dylan Larkin just hurt himself on our week off with a minor ankle laceration. Because who knows what he's doing. Trade deadline is March 1st. And Evgeny Kuznetsov signed the deal.
Good. Excellent.
So we just got
That's fantastic.
A good point producer for us.
That's fantastic.
That's a big deal. We lost a 3rd round pick, but you know what? That's okay because we gained something back, and we could still probably
you have 17 4th rounders.
Yeah. Well, we spread them out over a couple of years.
True.
Let's take a look and see if there's anyone else we could make a minor trade for. Trade Mr. Zetterberg. No, that is sacrilege.
That's not gonna happen.
We can't do that. Taking a quick look at our roster, though, is there anyone still on? No. Looking at a contract, not contracts, protected list. Angry goalie.
Which one?
The first guy, Jared Corno. He feels he's not playing enough or playing at the wrong level, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like if you were if you were like gonna try to move somebody, Franz Nielsen maybe would be a trade candidate.
Gonna place Eric Tangradi on the trade block here.
Yeah.
And I don't know who else. Let's maybe just look at the Grand Rapid Griffins roster. Apparently they only have 13 guys on their roster for some reason.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like maybe Franz Nielsen could be expendable now that you have Kuznetsov.
Yeah.
Because you have a lot of depth at center, and you know
Nielsen's play left wing too, though.
Yeah, that's true.
He's highly rated. He's a 19 out of 20, which is about as good as you can get without being a center.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, salary's not a huge issue for you, so.
Yeah. You know, maybe we won't. Although we are above our team salary cap, it looks like.
Oh.
Let's see that. Okay, let's look at finances here. We currently have negative 11 million in negative 11 million.
Negative 11 million
in salary cap space for next season.
Well, I suppose, yeah. That's probably not good.
No, but we'll get it figured out. Should we try and?
Yeah, well, there is some big obligations on there.
Yeah.
Tatar's owed a big raise.
this is going to get a little bit more interest. Although Elias will come off the... Oh, you should put him on the block, too.
Yeah, Elias comes off the book. Vanek, you've already traded. Justin Schultz is a UFA.
We'll get it figured out. Schultz is a UFA? I thought we signed him.
Oh, unless you've signed... in the save file I'm looking at, he's a UFA. He makes $1.4 million, then he's a UFA at the end of the season.
4.8. Oh, man. I'm still going to meet up with...
You've got so much money tied up in defense that I don't know if you're going to be able to afford that.
I'm going to offer him 4.2 and see what he says.
Yeah.
Or 4. No.
Also, you have 9.3 million tied up in goalies. I mean, Howard and Mrazek are both very good, but
yeah, we're gonna have to cut someone, I think.
Yeah, maybe eventually, probably not a bad idea.
Oh man, I can't even offer him yet because we have so much money not remaining.
Uh-oh.
So maybe we should try and move one of our goalies. Who do we have?
Might not be a bad idea.
Have a look in our depth here. Pasquale, former Winnipeg Jet. He's only a 2-star. Corneau, 2-star.
Oh, old Van Pottelberg.
Man, this is I don't know. We're gonna get a little dicey here, that's for sure. So what should we do? What should be our last move? We've been going just about an hour, so I guess maybe we'll stop here right before the trade deadline.
Yeah, I feel like you got to look at trying to free up some salary at this point. You've got quite a bit of future salaries on the books. Yeah, I would say maybe move a goalie.
Yeah,
that's probably your best move.
Yeah, Jimmy Howard's playing so well, but I hate to see him go. But he might have to be the guy to go.
Yeah, you don't want to trade Mrazek. You don't want to trade Mrazek at 24.
Unless we try and trade Franz Nielsen. Maybe Franz Nielsen is the guy to try and go because he's 5.25.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
Oh boy, that's a big contract.
Yeah, he's going to be 38. He's going to be 38, making almost $6 million a year.
Just look at centers here. Let's see if anyone needs a center. Dallas does. What would Dallas give us? Give us the rights to some. How about the rights to Roop Hintz? And see if they would throw in a 6th-round draft pick. This offer is 2 week. What if I throw in a 4th-round pick? Offer is interesting, but we need to increase it a little. How much do I need to increase it?
Yeah, how much, please, sir?
Okay, I threw in a 6th-round pick, and they will do it. So we swap 6th-round picks, and I get Franz Nielsen's $6 million contract off the books. I think I got to pull the trigger on this, huh?
I think you probably should, Jeff.
Franz Nielsen is gone.
Sweet, good move.
I think
it's probably for the best.
Yeah, I'm sad to see him go, but we needed to cut.
Yeah.
Now looking at our finances, we're only negative $9 million in the hole.
Okay, well that's good.
So we'll see how that goes. But I think that's enough for tonight. So we will stop here. So thank you very much for tuning into another Franchise Hockey Manager stream. We stream every Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/OOTP Developments. You can find us on social media. We are facebook.com/Franchise Hockey Manager. Our Twitter is @FranchiseHockey. We can be found on our official website if you want to talk about franchise hockey. The recently released Out of the Park Baseball 18 or MLB Manager for your phones. which is ootpdevelopments.com. Click on the community button in the corner and you will find our official forums. And I think that's about it from my half. Chris, would you like to promote anything you're doing?
Yeah, sure. I mean, people can follow me pretty much anywhere on the internet at SneckleJ, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. It's all the same. I stream mostly sports games, so if that's your kind of thing, you can check me out over there. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for having me on. It was a fantastic hour.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
great talking hockey with you.
No problem. Anytime.
Absolutely. So thank you very much for tuning in, and we will see you again next week.